so nice out today. Sunday is when I'm filming this little rant from the road, I guess. Yeah, it's gotta be in the 70s up here. Almost 7,300 feet elevation in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. And I'm loving it. I just hope we get like a little bit more of an actual spring this year, instead of the last couple of years where there's been this pattern of just going from bitter cold, wind, snow, freezing temperatures, straight into the scorching heat. And of course, I'm a little bit of a wimp, so when I say scorching heat up here in the Rockies, I mean 80s. That's pretty extreme for me. It's because you get so acclimated over the winter time for all this constant cold temperatures, and then heats up just the slightest bit, and you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can survive it. I don't know if I can go on anymore, guys. It's torture. But yeah, if you live out in the desert, 80 degrees is like paradise, right? How's everybody doing out there? I'm on my way to get some water once again. And I think we're headed over to the parent-in-law's property up above Glenhaven. Beautiful place. I can't wait. I brought my high-powered pellet gun just to plunk around with a little bit. Get a little practice in. I'm kind of rusty. I haven't been doing much shooting at all, really. Real guns, man, it's been a couple of years, I think, where I shot me a real gun. I do my practice in simulations, if you know what I mean. Nightly war simulations for me. Some of you out there might get that, some others might not, and that's fine, it's okay. But yeah, it's an insane world. What is it now? Iran just supposedly attacked Israel, counter-striked. I think that's a game, by the way. Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? They take out their top general, I think it was, at an embassy in Syria. A lawless attack on another sovereign nation, and you think they might just retaliate? But at the same time, like I say, there's so much in domestic politics, and I think it bleeds over into geopolitical situation. There's so much controlled opposition. You really you can't trust anything that is reported from the news headlines anymore. Okay, guys. So when I say repeatedly, over and over and over again, time and time again, that World War III is a Psyop, I'm just basing it on even recent memory, right? Certain words I can't use, and I realize that, so I have to use code words now and then, and I'm sure you guys can easily follow what happened over the last few years with certain treatments, certain diagnoses, and lockdowns all over the planet. That was kind of loud. I got my window open. My bad. This road is just horrible lately. You saw how all the major countries of the world worked hand in glove, lockstep, to forward the same, in my mind, kind of a devilish agenda on the world population. So the real war, if you want to talk about a World War III, I'd say we're already in it. The first shots have already been fired. That's the play on words, if you didn't catch that. But yeah, the real war is on we the people, and the ones who are waging this war on us are the criminals who have seized control over all of our governments and all of our, like RFK Jr. talks about, all the regulatory agencies within the government that are supposed to, at least in theory, right, keep us safe, to like the watchdogs, right? So we got the fox's garden, the old hen house, analogy. I like to use cliche analogies now and then, and probably catch it, but I just speak simple, speak plain. Consider myself a pretty straight shooter. Speak about shooting. By the way, that guy who Phoenix Firearms, I think they're called. One of my very first videos, my very first interview was with the owner of Phoenix Firearms in Berthoud. And just recently I got wind that he has offered me another chance to do some another film shoot, literally once again, if they ever go out and fire some of their insane high velocity full auto weapons, guns. And I'm like, hell yeah. So that'd be a fun, that might be coming up soon. Keep an eye out. Check back on my channel, because I know a lot of you guys, I think it's like only maybe 10%, maybe even less of you have all notifications clicked under your subscription to the channel. And so it's probably one good reason why the majority of my over 1,000 subscribers aren't return customers that much often, right? That's not good, guys. I need you guys, okay, to keep pumping up those numbers, guys. Had one of those recent videos recently just take off. That was surprising. Over 1,000 views last I checked. The return to the pyramid in Wyoming. I definitely, since going there, I've done a lot more research on the people involved in not only the corrupt politicians that bribed off other Congress critters to push for the Transcontinental Railroad, Union Pacific, but also the master mason who constructed that pyramid is a really strange individual, you could say. He's a pretty weird guy. I mean, there's pictures of the guy dressed up like a monk, with a big hood on and everything. And he's definitely a mason. So some really interesting connections that I've made, and I definitely plan on a follow-up of that. Once again, click all notifications on your subscriptions, folks. You can do that by clicking down on my channel. A little round picture of me, the Nightwatch guy, and click on that and go to subscription, and just make sure you have all clicked so you can catch these future shows, because I plan on keeping it more and more interesting, guys. To go more and more places, and maybe even, interview more interesting people. But I definitely got to get myself one of these expenses that I have kind of planned. I don't really have money for. If anybody wants to chip in, buy me a coffee. Is a drone that I can bring next time I go to the Ames Brothers Pyramid in Wyoming and get some awesome over-the-head shots. I think that'd be so cool. Fly all the way around the thing. Slow motion, pano, whatever. While I'm relaying you all this information about the occult, these devilish little Satan worshippers have been part of the founding of this nation from day one, right? It's like anything, right? Even when Jesus was here, there was wolves among the sheep, right? His own supposedly religious leaders of the day who claimed to worship the same God put Jesus to death because he threatened their power structure, their monopoly. These were crony. You hear about like crony capitalism. Well, these were crony religious leaders. They loved the attention, the admiration, the worship, and of course the wealth that came along with the positions that they held. And most men are like that. They're cheap, right? They're cheap hookers. Everybody's got a price, and some people are really, really, really cheap. The cost it takes to buy these people out. And just to see this little window into our history as a nation, such a vitally important aspect of our history, like the building of the Transcontinental Railroad, which united both East and West in this country, and to see figures like Abraham Lincoln involved in it, in the construction, and literally just cheating the taxpayers out of tens of millions of dollars with these little shell companies. I never got into that because I didn't read all about this until later. Like literally, we just stumbled on that place on the way to our campsite. I had no idea that pyramid was out there until like the last second. So I was very ill-researched, you could say. I was a little bit ignorant about the history behind the place when I went there the first time. But now, there's so many interesting little details and tidbits and all these little corrupt players that played a part. And, you know, just how that little window glimpse into the history just clarifies, brings to life, and just kind of adds those finishing touches on the reality that we live in today and how human nature has not changed any, is what I'm trying to say. You know, the same, nothing new under the sun. There's always been, you know, people that are easy to be bought off, to be corrupted, you know, for the right price. And from its inception, I think our political system, it was just, and you could almost say this was intentional, it was just a little naive, wasn't it? Right? To think that the commoner, I guess, the common man out there, could actually govern themselves, let alone be deserving of a government that actually served their best interest, right? Of and for the people. It's a great concept, but in practice, not so easy, is it? And so it's always been, you know, the monopoly men. This was, you know, the railroad tycoons period, mid to late 1800s. And it was just, you know, that's where we got the image of like J.P. Morgan and Monopoly, the game of Monopoly, the Monopoly men. And it was just rampant corruption. And not just evil capitalism. This was crony capitalism. This was corporations in bed with government. And hence, of course, they had the little amendment added to the Constitution that gave corporations the right of individuals, which was pretty much like the knife in the back of any kind of pretense to of and for the people kind of government that we do not any longer apparently have. And that's why you have all these vested interests, whether it's big pharma, medical industrial complex, or right now what's really big and trendy is the military industrial complex once again. And you have Trump up there saying that, you know, America stands with Israel, and, you know, how can you be America first when you put Israel above our interests? Because by getting involved in wars in the Middle East, you are literally threatening our own security here at home, our own domestic tranquility, right? Yeah, you're going to have blowback. This is a common concept that Ron Paul brought up multiple occasions, you know, back when he was running in 2008, 2012 elections. During the debates, you know, when all the neocons were scoffing and mocking and ridiculing how Ron Paul wanted to get out of Afghanistan and Iraq. You just want to leave? What did Giuliani say? So you're going to take your marching orders from Al-Qaeda? This is just cliche, stupid attacks on his mental stability, I guess. And then Ron Paul threw it right back in his face and said, no, I'm going to take my orders from the Constitution. It got a huge applause, right?
You're basically saying that we should take our marching orders from Al-Qaeda. If they want us off the Arabian Peninsula, we should leave?
No! I'm saying we should take our marching orders from our Constitution. We should not go to war. We should not go to war without a declaration. We should not go to war when it's an aggressive war. This is an aggressive invasion. We've committed the invasion of this war, and it's illegal under international law. That's where I take my marching orders, not from any enemy.
Over this way. Hey.
I believe very sincerely that the CIA is correct when they teach and talk about blowback. When we went into Iran in 1953 and installed the Shah, Yes, there was blowback. The reaction to that was the taking of our hostages, and that persists. And if we ignore that at our own risk. That if we think that we can do what we want around the world and not incite hatred, then we have a problem. They don't come here to attack us because we're rich and we're free. They come and they attack us because we're over there. I mean, what would we think if we were, if other foreign countries were doing that to us?
Can I have 30 seconds, please?
No, wait a second. We'll all get 30 seconds.
They are coming.
We all want 30 seconds to talk about this.
Because, wow, what a concept. Could you imagine having leaders that actually follow the Constitution? Now, we like to just kind of like wear a little pin. We just put a little post on our social media, you know, God bless the USA, a little picture of the Constitution. But when it comes down to it, you got these career criminals like Mike Johnson now selling out the American people for the deep states. You know, he said he had a private meeting and they convinced him otherwise that, oh, maybe we should allow unwarranted spying on the American population because the threat is that real, right, guys? The only reason there would be a threat was because you made enemies with this concept, the CIA concept of blowback, by getting involved in entangling alliances, which the Founding Fathers warned us all about. And, just dropping bombs on innocent civilians and killing all their families, and they have no other purpose in life but to retaliate against America, which is really easy right now when you have porous, wide open borders, right? You can just, you want to be a jihadi, you want to be a briefcase bomber, come right in, guys. And then I'm sure you can look forward to some of that here in the near future too. It'll be like a really scary threat, like the Psyop of World War III. It'll be really hard to just ignore what's in front of your eyes, guys, but I'm telling you. Like I put out there recently, you know, anytime that people start waking up to the criminals in our own government, they conveniently invent another boogeyman abroad, right? We have a new enemy, we have a new threat, terrorist threat, something that looks really intense, something that we all have to just cower to and beg. You know, what's the solution to every problem? More government, right? More big government. Please give us more all-consuming, all-knowing, all-powerful government. And, of course, more military spending for the deep state military-industrial complex, right? They're good. They're never hurting. You know, we talk about the standard of living and our cost of living and our inflation, and yet we still justify spending hundreds of billions of dollars in the military-industrial complex, which how much really are they needed without a, what is fear? False evidence appearing real. Without a really convincing threat out there in the world, the big scary world that's all out to get us, poor little innocent sheep here in America. If we didn't have these imaginary fears, just like we experienced over the last few years in the big pharma medical industrial complex, imaginary fears, invisible enemies. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have a need for all this gluttonous military spending and the further erosion of all of our standards of living, the mass printing, right? Like Trump recently came out in I thought it was pretty ironic, in one of his speeches, campaign rallies, I guess. And he said, no, we're not going to, this was, the joint, when he was propping up Mike Johnson, even though he said in the same joint press conference, and I predicted this, I didn't say it out in public, but I was like, you know what, I bet you Trump's going to come out and throw his weight behind Mike Johnson at this key point in time, because he was really getting some flack from his own party with all this FISA stuff and the bill that criminals just rushed through, and how many criminal Republicans voted for it, right? Just a handful were against it. Just a little minority, a little remnant, right, guys? Biblically speaking, Boebert was one of them, of course. Firebrand, Lauren Boebert. What's her name? MTG, is that the acronym? Anyway, Marjorie Taylor Greene. But course, Trump comes out, Teflon Don, and he acts as the invisible force field that he is, and gives his full endorsement of Mike Johnson, the deep state snake, fork-tongued little snake who came out and said, yeah, they told me in private, we had a secret meeting with the deep state, and they told me how important it is that you, the American people, are the biggest threat, and we need to spy on you, because you should fear the people, Mike Johnson. But unfortunately they don't, because they don't give a damn about the will of the people, and they shove through bills like this anyway, and the same, beast system keeps living on. Healthier than ever, no matter who's in power, left or right. So Trump comes out during this joint press conference when he's, propping up his deep state snake, Mike Johnson, while at the same time saying he didn't like FISA. He still supports Mike Johnson. Kind of weird. The guy who led the charge to just destroy our First Amendment. And he comes out in that same joint press conference, and he's like, you know what, we got a different idea. Instead of just handing out free money to Ukraine, we're going to give them a loan this time. And it's like, how about we give them nothing, not one more dime, and instead we start up some kind of investigation into where all that $100+ billion actually goes. How about that for an alternative, a true alternative, right, Trump? But no, this is the choice you get, guys. This is the left or the right wing on the same predatory bird that's feeding on all of our carcasses, apparently. The same vulture that lives there in the cage of every unclean bird, Washington, D.C. Same vulture feeding on the carcasses of our Constitution, right? Our liberties. Bill of Rights. But yeah, that's Trump's alternative, is that now we're going to give them a loan, and I'm sure they're really going to repay it, right, guys? So we're going to give them another $100 billion, but this time it'll be in the form of a loan with interest. How about any real kind of investigation into where the existing criminals in high office have been money laundering all of our taxpayer dollars, if you really gave a damn about our standards of living and inflation? No, this is your alternative, guys. This is the big, and hence the big show. Like I've been saying since day one, I put the podcast out there about how much of a psyop all the Trump trial garbage really was, and how none of it will amount to a hill of beans, and it never did, right? Oh, sure, there's some little, oh, he's got to pay this, he's got to pay that. When in reality, the guy's covered, okay? The guy is covered. The guy is going to have more money when he walks out of office for the fourth term now than he ever had prior. And everybody, the whole myth was that he's sacrificing all of his earnings. He's sacrificing his businesses, his profits. He's going to take such a big hit for we the people because he cares, because he's the suffering servant, right, guys? Trump is the embodiment of the Messiah. Oh, God, people. It's the MAGAs, I swear, 9 times out of 10, if somebody's on my friends, or if I'm following somebody on X, Twitter, and I look, through my follows, and I find people that aren't following me back, 9 times out of 10, it's somebody with MAGA in their description. And yet, you guys aren't NPCs, right? You're not a cult, just as much so as the left, with Obama, say. Or, any kind of woke nonsense that they like to follow. Like sheeps to the slaughter. Man, I swear, politics, it's a joke. And if you don't laugh at it, you end up in an insane asylum, basically. Or a shooter, maybe, somewhere. But yeah, so, big difference, Trump, super big threat to the deep state. That's why they're letting him run another 4 terms as POTUS. Because, they're super scared of him. That's why they shower him with countless free publicity from the press. And people say, but they're attacking him. Well, yeah, that gives him credibility. That's what I said once again, from day one with my podcast on the Trump trials, all they're doing is giving him street cred. Now you think he's really, 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 really super duper on your side, right, guys? Because everybody, they're trying to take down his businesses. They're trying to make him, go bankrupt. And he's this little messiah, this little political messiah figure. Because everybody loves an underdog, don't they? It's just classic human psychology, guys. It's just, it really is that simple. And on social media, I swear I liken it all the time to high school mentality, because seriously, people, I don't care about your little clubs. I don't care about being one of the cool kids, the jocks, right? One with all the cheerleaders around him, I don't dress up like a cowboy, not on purpose anyway. I don't wear my big 10-gallon hat, and I don't drive my big truck just because it makes me look like a country boy. I don't wear my spiked collars. I used to when I was a kid. I give you that. Before high school, I was all into 9 Inch Nails and wearing Doc Martens, and people would ask me, are you in the military? Yeah, it was kind of ahead of the curve, I'll admit, brag a little bit about that. But everybody goes through their little cycles, but some people just don't seem like they ever grow up, right? They just, this identity, whether it's identity, personality in real life, you got to fit in with this group, this collective, or that, or identity politics. It's the same thing. It's like high school. And apparently most people never grow up out of it. And it's sad. It's really sad, guys. Because people like that aren't deserving of freedom, right? Ignorant people, as the quote goes, expect to remain ignorant and free, or expecting something that has never been or ever will be. Roughly. That's roughly the quote. That's a paraphrase. Anyway, God bless everybody. I'm almost here at the water fill station. I know I've ranted on again. I always try to keep it at least within half an hour, right, guys? It's one up from what I used to be. I used to spend like 40, 50 minutes to an hour just sitting here until your ears fall off. But thanks everybody for sticking it out with me. I hope I made sense today. If I did, comment in the comment section. I don't see too many of you people commenting too often. I get some likes now. I appreciate that. But throw me some comments. Let me know what you think. If you agree, if you disagree, I don't care. I'm pretty easygoing, guys, okay? I don't get like superly offended. You can question my beliefs. You can question my religious beliefs. You can spit on the Bible, whatever you want to do, but I'm not going to get overly offended about it, because I feel that I'm fairly confident in what I believe. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here plastering my face all over the internet, speaking my mind. Yeah, so God bless everybody at the fill station. The new one here in Estes is pretty fancy. And I got to get water, and I got to head back down the canyon. Do a little hangout with some family today. Appreciate everything everybody's done for the channel, all the likes, the shares, subs, the buy me a coffees. Appreciate all that, guys. Johnny, you're the man. You're a night watcher now. I just realized that. Thanks, buddy. I know you in real life. You're a good guy, and I hope to see you again soon. It's been a while. Been out of state working in the oil fields, I believe. That's what you told me anyway. Oh, I gotta turn this off again. This always clicks on, this beeper. Anyway, yeah, you can do that too if you want. Through Buy Me a Coffee link, you can, I think it's like $4 or $5 a month. It's like super simple. And that's a great way, since I'm not monetized on this garbage platform. Might never be, who knows, but it's a great little way to bypass the system and still get on some kind of a monthly subscription for the channel, which really helps, because all these videos take time, especially those on location videos. They take a lot of editing, days, literally. For a 15-minute video, I'll spend days editing. Anyway, God bless everybody. I appreciate you. Yeah, get right with God time. We are living in crazy times, days of mass deception. And the best way to combat that, to see through the lies, is to stay in God's word. That's my firm conviction. And you need to do that myself. I'm not no saint when it comes. I'm not waking up early in the morning. I'm a pretty late night guy, actually. You know that. So I'm not waking up alien. I can't speak. I'm not waking up early in the morning, read my Bible like they say you should. And but if that's an option for you, if you're an early bird, that might not be a bad idea. we all need to get in God's word more and get more on fire, right? Just more we see the signs all around us, you know, the signs of the times, the more on fire we should get for the truth and for God's word and for getting right with God and knowing his will in our lives and trying to follow, abide in him, right? Anyway, God bless everybody. Once again, Nightwatch N8. Until next time, signing out.
This is not America. Sha-la-la-la-la. Little piece of you, a little piece in me will die. This is not a miracle, for this is not America. Blossom fails to bloom this season. Promise not to stay too long. This is not America, for this is not the miracle. There was a time there's no bad news of you. Oh, this could be the biggest sky, and I could have the faintest idea. This is not America. Sha-la-la-la-la. 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 This is not America. No, this is not. Sha-la-la-la-la. Snowman melting from the inside. Falcon spirals to the ground. The biggest sky. So bloody red, tomorrow's clouds. A little piece of you, a little piece in me will die. A miracle, for this is not America. There was a time when that news so young. For this could be the biggest sky. I could have the faintest idea. But this is not America. Sha-la-la-la-la. 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 This is not America. No, this is not. Sha-la-la-la. This is not America. No, this is not. This is not America. No, this is not. Sha-la-la-la.
Deep breath. Exhale, shoot. Just shoot already.
It's going all over.
Whoa.
I did get it.
So when I was a kid, we lived in
Do I want to
Longmont.
hear this?
No.
What? Okay, I'll go.
Way high.
We lived in Longmont, in a house in town, you know, in the city.
Uh-oh.
Right? And I would shoot my 22 from inside the house so it didn't make too much noise, but through the back door
Yeah.
to like shoot at squirrels or birds or anything. And then eventually I like set up my own little shooting range in the garage. And I tried to have like something that was pretty solid that I would shoot into to block the bullets. But I found out that one of the bullets went right through the wall. Thankfully nobody was home, because this went like through 2 walls and lodged itself like into a wooden coat hanger or something in my sister's closet.
Wow.
And I'm like patching up the holes. Nothing happened here. So I was like home alone a lot, you know. So thankfully nobody was home, because it's like, wow, that was scary. Last time I ever did that though. You wouldn't think those things would have so much velocity, like pass through 2 walls, but it's just that sheetrock, and it's like,
Yeah.